All right, so this is Melissa and Will's Pick Time Gallery, their full elopement gallery, films, and all that.
Yes, absolutely, because we are a photo and video hybrid team. That means you're going to get both. You're going to get photos and you're going to get film, and they're going to be digitally displayed to you through the PicTime Gallery, which, this is actually a platform that we love. We are ambassadors of it. In case you're a photographer and you want a free month or two, we have a code down below. Salesy. Sorry, back to our couples. So, when we lay out the gallery, you're going to get the most hard-hitting emotional thing that we do, which is our feature film, your elopement film. And so that's what you're seeing here with Will and Melissa. You can play that here, but we'll just scroll down.
Playable.
Yeah, you can play it. So this will live with you for a year. You can extend that if you want, but obviously you'll get access to these files to download yourself, to keep for prosperity.
And then we roll into the photos. So this is the full gallery.
Mm-hmm.
The whole images, everything we deliver to the couple.
That's right.
Is all in here.
Okay, so Greg, as you scroll down during the preps, just for those interested, how many photographs do we tend to give in a photography gallery?
So we don't give a specific number. We're not going to only deliver a certain amount because that's what we've told you. We deliver however many we feel are the best images and cover your whole elopement. Mm-hmm. Usually that's going to be somewhere from 300 to 500 images, I would say.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then what we like to do usually is also deliver them in black and white so that you have the choice of what one you prefer. Like we will have our own one that we prefer. Like, that's a black and white image. It needs it just works better. But we want to give you that in the color version as well, because that's subjective. I guess it's up to you what you prefer as well. It's still a great image, I'm sure.
Yeah, and just so you know, like, this isn't a case of editing the photos in color and then turning down the saturation and exporting them again. I had a journey with film, like black and white film photography during COVID, and I was developing it at home and things were coming out wrong and it was highly grainy. I just connected, like, on a pure creative level with that feeling of it's not perfect, but it captures a feeling. That's the kind of vibe I go for when I edit your film, your images again in black and white. And so when you go to the black and white sections, you'll see how they're not all the same levels. Some are darker, some are lighter, some are grainier. I just really love that feeling of film, and so I've done my best to recreate that feeling I got with film and developing myself.
I've stopped here for a second because this was a good example of it could have been a stressful moment because Will was struggling to remember how to lace up Melissa's dress. There was a specific way it had to be done. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to remember. He'd had some practices beforehand. That had potential to get stressy, but by just keeping the tone light, adding some jokes in, you can see that it did not get stressy. Like, look at the joy in their faces and the laughter.
Yeah.
It was a fun moment.
You can see a little bit of stress in that image on the left there, where it's more of a serious, like, they're concentrating on this task.
Yeah.
I think it's, I know, one thing that I like to do is explore the feelings. Like, I'm never just gonna get all the smiley images. I'm gonna let the pauses happen and leave them in your gallery as well, because elopements, they're not just all high, and this is the same with weddings. They're not all one emotion. You see that a lot in a lot of wedding films, less so galleries, but more wedding films, where it's just like, it's a big party. That's cool, but how did it actually feel? It's important to remember. Now we're coming up to one of my favorite bits. Remember this robin? I think it's coming up. Did we pass it?
Yeah.
So that picture of a robin, I know it seems really random, but it was this time of year where all the birds had kind of left. Will and Melissa were just getting ready on the porch there or the decking, and this little bird came by and just like hung out with us, and it was there for a while. And so I grabbed the shot. I wish I'd gotten a little bit closer, but yeah, I think when they look at this bird, they'll remember this feeling. It was very cute. And so yeah, we're going to the car, we're getting ready to leave, and then boom, we're actually there. There's like I said, like Greg said, there was an hour and a half travel distance to get there. During that time, there's not really much time to shoot photographs because we're together in separate cars. But
yeah, it was a time for them to be alone together on their day and have that sort of moment to be themselves and think about what they were about to go and do.
Mm-hmm. So when I am photographing, I am not just concentrating on photographing the couple themselves. The landscape is a big part of why they're here in the first place. And so I am making sure that I document signs that I find are kind of cutesy or informational or something that they've been drawn to. Like if they've said, oh, look at that sign, and they've read it, I will take a photograph of it so that they can remember. Also, behind the scenes, there's you, Greg.
So much so that, you'll take a picture of me while filming on the video camera, getting some BTS.
I mean, they did leave a remark that they appreciated seeing you in the gallery, which I thought was really funny. I need to remember to take a selfie of myself so I get in.
I think there's a few photos of me in this gallery, and they referenced that in the review that they loved that we were included in the gallery as well.
So, shooting details, hand fastening that these guys did, they're tying the knot here. I loved that. And so I'm trying to get the hand fastening in as much detail as possible, trying to get wider shots of Brothers Point, because we're not actually on Brothers Point exactly, we're just before, but you can see it in the background. And here, this shot, you can see now tourists. So this is actually a great example of tourists. Now, there were a couple of tourists walking on the peninsula. There's nothing we can do about that. But for these guys, as soon as this group saw that there was a ceremony happening, they just stayed there. And actually gave a little cheer once the couple had done their first kiss, which I thought was really cute. But it's always something to be aware of. Here, we're just grabbing a couple of extra shots. So, I mean, we won't go through the whole gallery. In fact, do you want to skip to the black and whites, Greg, just to give an example of how that shows up in their gallery? Sure. So, go all the way through.
We include them in a separate scene. They call these scenes. Not that it matters. Scenes. They're buttons. Yeah. We include these in a separate scene at the end. And you've got the exact same again. I'll skip to roughly where I was.
Yeah. So I maybe went a little bit too hard on the different edges. Hang on, stop here, Greg. This image here, of Will and Melissa with Will's arm over her. This was one of the moments where I talked about earlier in the video, where I get them to close their eyes and really remember the sound. So this is them actually just being together. It was cold and windy on the cliff, so that's Will kind of giving Melissa some heat across her chest. And there's a few of these.
I think it was maybe the color version that you preferred the most in this one.
Yes, maybe. But yeah, these images were really just felt really nice to do. There's Greg again on the peninsula. Now, look, I actually love these action shots of legs going across boggy water, because it was actually pretty marshy, like Greg mentioned. It was raining, and they do have boots, but I love action shots like this. And I got Greg's wee skinny legs as well, doing it. Sorry. Sorry, Greg. And again, signs. Here you can see some drone shots. Now, my approach to drone shots were... Sorry, that was my phone there. My approach to drone shots for scenery and stuff was, where do I want to take up the drone? And to me, hearing their story about how important Brothers Point was, which was the reason we had the ceremony there, it was clear to me that even though it's extremely windy, that I get the drone up and document this piece of land. Because like I said, once you're there and you have your ceremony, it's almost like this is your piece of land, if you know what I mean. So this is another experience-led moment where we're clearly very far away. What we did get to say was, hey, Will and Melissa, why don't you just continue going up this cliff and just, stand on the edge of the cliff and just be there together when you're there. This was about 10 minutes of just them having alone time on the cliffs. It is so, so important to us that a couple have not just amazing photographs, but time to be just together in Scotland, because it can be a lot from time to time.
Yeah, like we've no idea what they were saying to each other up on that peninsula there, so that was purely their moment. Like, wasn't shared with anyone, just them on their own.
Yeah. And they came back down and we documented some movement in the wind. The wind was really, like, when they came down, the heavens opened and it was really, really rainy. I hadn't quite felt like I got the motion of the dress or the sleeves quite yet, so I placed Melissa on this cliff here. And actually, so these shots here, what Greg and I like to do is, in getting to know our couples, we send out a questionnaire. And in that questionnaire, a big question for us is, what is your favorite music or artist of all time that you listen to? That gives us a kind of sense of the genres that our couple like to listen to, that I can base a soundtrack on our films. Now, when they were on the cliff edge there, that was us, again, giving them time to be with each other, but in a way that was emotional and for them to experience, because we had downloaded one of their favorite tracks from an artist. I had downloaded it onto my phone. I put my phone in Will's jacket and just the music surrounded them. Like, we couldn't hear the music, obviously, but we just backed away and took photographs of the cliff edge, of just them having a little dance. Nothing performative. I didn't say, do a wee spin or whatever. I really just gave them time to feel this. So yeah. You can see,
and on a gallery point, if you're seeing this like buy button here, this photo is theirs. They can download it and everything without buying it. They've already got it. All the images are there to download high res. That's just a way for them, if they want to order a print, it's simple. They can just click that, choose a size, choose if they want framing, and they can print any images they want anytime when they've got this gallery. They can hide it if they're sharing the gallery with friends and family. They can decide, you know what, I don't want my friends and family to see this image. I want to keep that one just for me. And they can hide it. So, yeah, there's some stuff you can do with the gallery on a technical level. We included some social edits for these guys. Just little reels that we created. Just turn sound off on that. That's not playing right.
Oh, it's not playing right. Now, do they get their full ceremony, Greg?
Yeah, we include the full ceremony. We include the full ceremony for them, so they can watch that as it happened from the start of the ceremony right to the very end. Just nice documentation. And we found that most couples like that aspect because, when they've eloped, sometimes there's friends or family who really wanted to be there, wanted to share the experience, but either weren't allowed or couldn't travel or whatever reason. They can feel more part of it by watching the whole thing and hearing exactly what they said as their ceremony. So it helps those friends and family feel a bit closer to the day.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, that was a look at their full pick time gallery. Obviously, like I said, they have this for a year, but they can extend it. And obviously they have access to all the files here, so you can download them, keep them on your hard drive. And I'll let you into a little secret. So in our contract, we say that we keep everything for a year. That's just legal jargon type. That's a guarantee. What we actually do is keep everything forever, in case you lose it, or in case you didn't extend your digital gallery and you've lost your images. Come back to us. most likely, unless time has aged our hard drives, which can happen. Tech fails, but we do try to keep as much of the final images, the final films. So Greg's like, you shouldn't have told them that, but if they've made it to the end of this video, they deserve a little treat.
I've had couples come back to us like 8-9 years later and say, I moved house, and back then we delivered on DVD, and they're like, I've lost my DVD. And we've said, don't worry, pulled a hard drive and we had it. There was no guarantee of that, but we had it for them, so it was all good.
DVDs. Whew, remember that? Good times.
Yeah, Netflix generation. It's all online now.
That's it. So that was a quick look at our PickTime gallery and everything that we offer. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to leave them in the comments down below or wherever. You can email us. But yeah, hopefully that was interesting to you. Stay feral.